You're watching Oz Reimagined, the making of Emerald City.
When we were in discussions about Emerald City, I had no idea of the concept of how it would look. I was sent a couple of sketches, and I was like, oh my God. Literally every costume deserves to be in a museum.
I'm Trisha Biggar. I'm the costume designer in Emerald City. I've worked in such a range of projects, from low budget to massive films like Star Wars, and it's been incredible to be involved in this modern version of such an iconic tale. When I started the project, I met with Tarsem, who was directing. He had lots of ideas on the overall look of the project.
If you ask somebody what does Wizard of Oz mean to you, they'll name you, the Lion, Tin Man, the Scarecrow, Dorothy, Toto, the Wizard. Just a completely different take. So then it becomes really important to make sure that characters are interesting.
These are the tribal freelands. You are trespass.
I love the fact that I walk into this world and you can pick me out of everyone, because I'm the only one wearing, just combat boots and a jacket I stole from a cop.
Dorothy initially meets the Munchkins, and they are totally different from her. She is wearing clothes from Kansas.
My wardrobe is just very simple, but for some reason, every time I put it on, I feel like a warrior.
She has this kind of feminine quality, but she's hardcore at the same time.
You've been trying to kill me since I got here.
Oz brought you back. Have you even asked yourself why?
Vincent had a picture of the wizard being layered in terms of his personality.
I'll protect you from myself!
And also layered in terms of his clothing.
He's big and bolstery and full of himself.
I am the Wizard of Oz!
So he can have robes on, robes off, coats, jackets.
His costumes are very elaborate. They're not what you might think a wizard would look like.
It was Vincent's idea, which I loved, that he's wearing a wig. He's just pretending to be younger than he is.
It's a whole new look. Am I interrupting?
That lunatic hopes to embarrass you.
We had a color palette for each of the witches' costumes. Glinda, for instance, when Tarsem first talked about keeping her costumes white in a white background, I was quite sort of taken aback by that.
That won't be necessary.
The idea that you would dress one of your leading actresses in the same color as the walls of her house is something that normally one always avoids, but that has actually worked incredibly well.
I can give you all that you seek.
Just told her this is what I want, and she nailed it.
The level of workmanship, every little bead, every little diamond, every little pearl, every little piece of jewelry, these exquisite one-off pieces.
We've used different tones of white and lots of sparkle, sequins, silver fabrics and silver metal work. We've used whirlwinds and shapes of wind. Each dress possibly takes a minimum of 2 weeks, with maybe 2 or 3 people involved in making every costume. This is Glinda's arrival dress for her sister's funeral, and she has this headpiece here. Covers her face in the beginning, and then we reveal to see who she is.
And we'll be nothing. Lots of people say the shoes give you the character, but the shoes and the corset, and then these incredible gowns.
She's just white and perfect.
You look terrible.
I rebel against that. Time ravages. How would you have me look?
We're really poles apart. Often she's dressed in black, often I'm dressed in white.
All hell breaks loose.
West runs a brothel, and the colour palette within the brothel, there's reds, there's teals.
There's all these pieces that they've collected from all these different countries we've been in. Actually becomes part of the costume.
She wears a long velvet coat with multicoloured sequins on the shoulder dripping off, and a skirt that has a panel underneath so she can walk with an attitude.
The Mother Witch lives!
My fingers are black because I constantly drink opium tea. And in order to prepare opium tea, there's this beautiful ritual where you just press the leaves down, and that turns your fingers black. What did you do? Nothing to worry for.
Are you one of Glinda's girls? Did she send you to kill me?
When I get into my costume, that is like a journey. Like, it takes a few minutes until I'm inside.
Now, these are the gauntlets, East's gauntlets.
When I wear everything, I finally am the character. East is wearing, this wonderful red dress that just flows everywhere she goes.
Then Tarzan explained to me the trails of her costume are just going to be slowly floating like they're underwater, but sort of for 20 meters out. I just thought, it's going to look incredible.
Steel won't help you, swordsman.
And we have Lucas, AKA the sexy scarecrow, because he's not a normal scarecrow.
He is disheveled and falling to bits in terms of his costume.
They've kind of twisted the whole thing about not having a brain to actually suffering from amnesia.
Do you remember anything from here?
Anything you recognize or makes you feel something?
Yeah.
What?
Who?
How long have you been saving it?
A few miles.
I got it to her.
Developing how a character looks always happens slowly. The lion's costume has taken maybe 4 months. Tarzan wanted Rome, gladiators. There was all sorts of technical problems. The head had to fit on, the actor had to be able to see out, but it also had to look like practical armour. And here we have bits of our Tin Man. The Tin Man took 6 months to make. I wanted a heart that worked, and they made tiny gears and little motors and developed some tiny, tiny batteries for inside.
In case you weren't aware, you are walking and talking at the expense of our kingdom.
And then you have Lady Ev, which is, very elegant and classy, almost like Victorian dresses.
I've got incredible costumes. I've watched them come from being these kind of random bits of fabric that are pinned in place to being something like this, which is just beautiful. And what's amazing as well is I get to wear different masks at different points.
Who will I be today?
We had a digital scan done of her head and face.
Now, please relax your face.
And there'd be cameras kind of all around me. And then I had to make a really big face, a really small face, and look angry and look happy. And then they'd all go off at once. They have all of these pictures to see how my face moves.
Wow.
Which is why they all fit so well. It's because they've been made around the actual mold of my face. It's true.
All in all, I think she has 14 masks. It's all different. In some ways, sometimes to show her emotion because we don't see her face, and other times to hide her emotion. Each character has a very different look. There's a Wizard's Guard costume here.
It's very mobile. You can swing a sword and you can do all the fighting that you need to do with it. It really helps you to get into character. The colors and the texture and the smell. By the time I got my armor on, it's done. You really are in that space. What would you have me do with them?
If anyone tries to leave, kill them.
Our costumes as the council women, they are these huge blue robes, and we have this huge blue headpiece.
It's so perfect in a way that they're all just wearing blue and always wearing the same thing.
And I think when you walk in these robes, you adopt the walk of a councilwoman. You still need counsel.
Yes. Just not yours.
You look around at some of the extras and, they've made every single one of these costumes.
Hello.
We're making about 500 crowd costumes. There's a lot of people involved. We make jewelry, we make hats, we dye fabrics, we age fabrics, we make patterns. Anything that somebody can wear, we're producing. I walk miles every day, I think. I certainly feel I do.
They have worked round the clock for about 6.5 months now. I think you can walk over there about 3 o'clock in the morning and they will still be sewing. They're amazing.
Coming up next, see how Emerald City has been an adventure for everyone involved.
It's amazing, and I'm allowed to be here. It's beyond exciting.
It's really going to be something.
I can't wait to see it.